Hello, everybody. Welcome to another fantastic and fantabulous episode of Youth Connect. I'm Aiden.
Hi, I'm Kevin.
Hi, I'm Logan.
Hi, I'm Jeffrey.
And welcome to our Youth Connect. Welcome back, guys. I hope that you guys are super excited. It's another awesome episode of Youth Connect on another fantastic Friday. Now, for those who don't know, what is Youth Connect? Well, Youth Connect is a show that I know that you are going to absolutely love because it's a news, interest, entertainment show that is more than just sharing stories with you guys. We are working together as a community, kind of working on a platform of inclusion and acceptance every single episode. And remember, we got a little bit of everything. Community news, Ontario news, weather, good news, weird news, cooking updates, and of course, live music. There's a lot. So I hope you get comfy, say hi in the chat, and get ready to connect because obviously the show is technically called Youth Connect. And I want you to take a deep breath. Let's absolutely do this. Okay, so if you guys know, the first thing that we always do, always, is that we always start off with some gaming news. Okay, so gaming news. Let's get straight into it. So I will be honest with you. It's been a while since we've done this segment, but I wanted to do today's game of the week. Now, this game can either be a classic, an oldie, or something that just came out. And trust you me, this game just came out. I am going to be talking about the very interesting game that is known as Pokopia or Pokemon Pokopia. It technically goes by two names. So Pokopia was released on Nintendo Switch 2, and the game takes the Pokemon series in a very different direction. Instead of focusing on battles and becoming the champion, Pokopia is built around creativity, exploration, and building a peaceful world where Pokemon can live together. Now, interestingly, the game was developed by Game Freak and Omega Force, which is very well known for making games like, what was it called? I think it was called Dragon Quest Builders, and that was a very good game on its own. So you know this game is pretty good. In the story, basically, players take control of a Ditto that is transformed into a human and begin rebuilding a once ruined land by working alongside Pokemon. So gameplay focuses on mostly gathering resources, constructing homes, and shaping the environment using Pokemon abilities. Because if you don't know, Dittos can copy any move, or technically copy any Pokemon. So players may plant fossils, design small communities, or create systems that help the world grow and function. A lot of people are saying that this is an upgrade to Animal Crossing, and kind of like if they combined Animal Crossing and Minecraft together. How interesting is that? And crazily enough, this game has been getting 9 out of 10s and 10 out of 10s. And at first I was like, there's no way this game that does exactly what Animal Crossing does, how could it ever get 10 out of 10? The reason why, guys, is that it actually does something that is not, well, it does the kind of build your own world kind of style in its own unique way. It's not like Animal Crossing and it's not like Minecraft. It's kind of like a mishmash in between. So it's sort of unique on its own. And it's always interesting to see that because as somebody who loves it when a game makes itself unique, Pokopia does that very, very well. So if you do want a Pokemon game that is going to take a while to kind of nurture, build on it like that, I really do recommend checking out Pokopia, guys. It's really good. I've been playing it myself. It's fantastic. It's a little bit slow. So for any of those fast-paced gamers, you might not want to get it. But for parents like my mother and father, perfect fit. Anyways, this has been your first gaming news, and get ready because I'm going to be having some more news along the way. But for now, I'm going to be bringing you next up to Kevin with some all-important news, sports, and weather, but more importantly, that interesting fact that's going to be shared.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Youth Connect News. I'm your host, Kevin Aruja, here to what's making news today. Toronto mayor pitches plan to pay residents to shovel after major snowstorms. The Ford government appoints supervisors at 2 more GTA school boards. Ontario retiree turns forgotten Lotto Max ticket into $55 million. And Toronto Raptors keep learning hard lessons against the NBA's top 10 teams. The Toronto mayor, Olivia Chow, has a proposal to address heavy snowfalls in the city. She wants to start a program where residents get paid to shovel snow from sidewalks. The idea comes from New York City, which recently paid residents to help clear snow after a big winter storm. People who spoke with City News said they liked the idea. Mayor Chow believes Toronto could run a similar program, especially because clearing sidewalks has been a big problem during the winter. The councillor Brad Bradford, who is also planning to run for mayor, said paying people to shovel snow could work, but he pointed out that the city already spends tens of millions of dollars every year on snow removal. A letter to City Council asks city staff to create a paid sidewalk shoveling program that could be ready as soon as possible and no later than the winter of 2026 and 2027. The Ontario government has taken control of 2 more school boards in the Greater Toronto Area. Education Minister Paul Calandra says the government has appointed supervisors at the Peel District School Board and the York Catholic District School Board. He said this is because of serious problems, including conflicts between board members and long-term financial issues. According to Calandra, both boards have struggled to manage their problems. The Peel Board has had a budget deficit for 5 years in a row. The York Catholic Board has used up its financial reserves, has not submitted a realistic financial recovery plan, and it has had several different directors of education in the past 9 years. The Ontario Catholic School Trustees Association said it is very concerned about that decision. Critics says the government taking control of school boards and pushing aside elected trustees weakens local democracy. They also argued that many boards are struggling financially because providing funding has not kept up with rising costs and growing needs. Calandra has also suggested that government may make bigger changes to how school boards are to run, including possibly removing the role of trustees. He says the final decision could come soon. A simple trip to the grocery store turned into a life-changing moment for a retired man from Hawkesbury, Ontario. Francois Mass has won $55 million, and it all started with a free play ticket he almost forgot about. Massey used to work as a teacher. He says he still can't believe how a normal day turned into something so big. The winning Lotto Max ticket for the January 9th draw was bought at Excellence, your independence grocer on Cameron Street in Hawkesbury. Massey used a free play ticket at Encore for $1, put the ticket in his wallet, and continued with his day. A few days later, he remembered he had 3 lottery tickets to check. The first ticket won another free play. The second ticket was won $40. The third ticket was a big winner. Before telling his family, Massey came up with a plan. He invited his children over and told them a late Christmas gift had arrived. He gave each of them an espresso machine as a distraction. Then he asked him to scan the last ticket themselves, the one worth $55 million. Now, Massey plans to celebrate a family trip. He also has a list of things he wants to do, including traveling to Formula One's races around the world, visiting NFL stadiums, going on golf trips, and taking vacations with his mother and his horses. Even with all the plans, Massey says his biggest goal is making sure his family is financially secure for many years to come. In sports news, every time the Toronto Raptors loses to one of the NBA's top teams, they say they are learning to and trying to stay patient with the process. But Brandon Ingram admitted it still feels frustrating, the lessons have come up often this season. The Raptors scored 35 out of 26, who are fifth in the Eastern Conference, have struggled against the league's best team. Sorry about that. They are only 4 out of 60 against the 10 teams with their better records. At Scotiabank Arena, Toronto is just 1 out of 12 against those teams and has lost 14 of its last 15 games against top 10 opponents. Late in the game against New York, Raptors guard Emmanuel quickly hit an 8-foot running shot with a 5:50 left, cutting the Knicks leads to 95 out of 93. But the Knicks already pulled away, finishing the game with a 16 out of 2 run to secure a clear win. Jalen Brunson led New York 40 out of 22 with 26 points and 10 assists as the Knicks won their third straight game. Karl Anthony Towns added 21 points and 13 rebounds. Quickly finished with the double-double for Toronto, scoring 13 points and adding 12 assists. RJ Barrett, who was from Mississauga, Ontario, scored 20 points, including 9 in the fourth quarter. Raptors rookie center Colin Murray-Boyles, who has started 22 games this season, did not play because of his sprained left thumb. Coach Darko Rajakovic said the team missed him during the game. In today's weather forecast, we got drizzle this afternoon. The temperature is now 3 degrees. And tomorrow we will get cloudy with showers. The temperature will be 16 degrees. And now moving forward for the interesting fact. Of course, we're going to talk about daylight saving time. In 2026, which is this year, in the United States, daylight saving time, or DST, begins on Sunday, March 8th, when clocks spring forward 1 hour at 2 a.m., which is moving to 3 a.m., and it ends on Sunday, November 1st. When clock falls back to standard time at 2 a.m., the purpose is to align waking hours with daylight hours. So there's more evening light during spring, summer, and early autumn. As Encyclopedia Britannica explains, the practice was just suggested in a whimsical essay by Benjamin Franklin in 1784. It has been repealed nationwide in 1919. Some individual localities maintained the biannual time change in what Time magazine called a chaos of clocks until 1966, when a Uniform Time Act made DST, or Daylight Saving Time, consistent nationwide. And I've got 6 interesting facts about daylight saving time. The first fact is Benjamin Franklin himself is often credited with the idea of DST, or daylight saving time, because in a satirical letter to the authors of the Journal of Paris, he suggested the French wake earlier to take advantages of using sunshine instead of candles. The second fact is daylight saving time as we know it. It was proposed in 1895 by the New Zealander amateur entomologist George Vernon Hudson, who wanted longer hours for insect study. The third fact is the first locality to enact daylight saving time was Port Arthur. It was now Thunder Bay, Ontario, Canada in 1908. The first country to enact daylight saving time was Germany on April 30th, 1916, although the Germans dropped the time change at the end of World War I. The fourth fact is American farmers were opposed to daylight saving time because regardless of what the clock says, the cows weren't ready to be milked until later in the day during daylight saving time. The fifth fact is a resort in Madagascar created its own daylight saving time, which runs an hour ahead of the rest of the country, so the lemurs would actually naturally join us in the oasis gardens for a 5 o'clock tea. And the last fact is some ancient civilizations are known to have used practice similar to daylight saving time. Roman water clocks, for example, use different scales for different times of the year. Whenever we come to the end of my segment, tune in for next week's news, weather, and your favorite interesting fact. This is Kevin Aruja, and it's back to you, Aiden.
Guys, I'm going to cry because with daylight savings, this means that we are going to be losing an hour of sleep. And technically, we are jumping ahead an hour. And I need that hour of sleep. I don't know how I'm going to do without it. And I'm very sad to see it go. But you know what? Daylight savings is an important factor of our culture. So it gives me a frown on my face. And Kevin, do you think that you are going to be okay with that hour of sleep lost? I should say.
Yeah, I'm gonna be okay with it.
Okay. Jeff
As
and
long as I don't
Logan,
interfere, though.
okay. Jeff and Logan, are you guys sad that you're going to lose an hour of sleep, or are you guys just going to be a-okay?
I'm gonna be a-okay.
Okay. Logan, what about you?
Might take a day to adjust, but I should be fine.
Okay. I can't believe I can't believe that you guys have such a positive mindset. I honestly am going to be pretty sad, and I think I'm going to need at least 2 to 3 days to readjust and things like that. So, and in the chat, if you guys are going to be okay with the changes of daylight savings, please do let me know, because from what I'm hearing, everybody here is going to be perfectly fine. I don't know how they're going to do it. Okay, now it's on to your good story news. Now keep it rolling with me, guys. So, very interestingly, a group of snowmobilers in New Hampshire saved a young moose who needed a helping hoof, as they say. Returning home for lunch after a morning zipping over the drifts 4 to 5 feet deep, Mike Dion said that he and his friends came across an unexpected sight: a moose buried up to its neck in snow. It was clearly in trouble. All they could see was its snout and the tuft of its mane above its panicked eyes. So, unfortunately, as far as they were too far out to get any cell service. So, they had to come up with an idea, because we couldn't just call Fish and Game, because that was their first thought. So, what they did is they realized the animal is exhausted. And if you guys know, you got to be very, very careful when you're around a moose, because moose are very, very kind of startled animals. And if you startle a moose, you might be in danger. But fortunately, this animal was exhausted but calm. It had clearly been attempting to free itself without success. And Dion and his friends weren't even sure if its hooves were on solid ground or not. But they slowly began to dig the moose out, needing about 20 minutes on their hands and knees to do so. Eventually, we got her up and got her going, and she seemed to be all in good health, that Dion said. And I think she was happy. She wasn't aggressive or too nasty with us. That's what we were worried about at first. So thankfully, the Fish and Game department official told that the moose are dangerous animals when are cornered, spooked, and provoked. And the best course of action was what they did. But if you ever find yourself in the same situation, you should definitely call the department. But fortunately, the people found a moose that was already tired, so it came out good in the end. They saved a life, guys. Remember, doing these small kinds of acts of kindness always brings a smile on my face, and it's very important. You know, very interestingly enough, the moose apparently was seen again by the hikers and apparently very generous in their eyes, as they assume. That has been your good story news. I know it seems a bit weird, but I think it's important, guys, because this good story news, I know it's very far away. And next time, I'm going to give you a good story Ontario news. I'm going to give you a good story Ontario news, so look out for that. But having the good story news, guys, you know, we need to have it, especially in the world that we live in right now. A little bit of positivity goes a long way. Anyways, next up, we have Logan. And what is Logan going to be doing? Well, he's going to be doing some cooking knowledge, but I can't wait. What is it going to be this time? Because he's in his kitchen and not in his usual spot.
Hello, Youth Connect. I am Logan. And Aiden, you're right on the money with your little intuition. Today isn't going to be any. Today I have no news for you. Instead, I have a live demonstration. Tonight for dinner, I am making me and my entire family some carrot soup. So I have a whole bunch of carrots to break down. And so I figured that this was an excellent opportunity to demonstrate and teach everyone about all the different ways that you can cut your vegetables. And in this case, I'm talking about carrots, of course. So if we look down, we have our carrot. I got the big ones at the Asian grocer because I needed a lot. And so, anyways, I've already peeled them and trimmed the edges. And now I'm prepared to make my little cuts with it. Now, the first thing before we start actually cutting our carrots, I'd like to just divide them a little bit into, say, perhaps quarters. And what I want to do is trim off these like round edges over here. I'm just going to, with my knife, I'm going to shave off an edge and then lay it flat so that it can sit more properly. Shave off this side, shave off this side, and shave off this side. So that we kind of have like a little square prism or like something more square that's a little bit easier to work with, a little easier to make dices with. I'm going to do it with the same side here. Okay, now that our carrot is cut into a more manageable size, I'll go over the different ways that you can cut carrots and kind of like what sort of food applications each cut would have. Now the first cut I'm going to talk about is the baton. So what we want to do is length side of the carrot, maybe about a centimeter thick. You just want to cut these big slabs. And then you want to cut each slab into these little, sort of like 1 centimeter thick rods. These are your batons. If you're familiar with cutting potatoes, you've probably seen the shape before with like a French fry. And something like these carrots, you could probably imagine this kind of stuff going in like a high-end restaurant as like a side, just like imagine like pan-fried, butter-basted carrot batons, that sort of thing. The next way that I'll talk about is the miniature version of the baton, the batonette. With this side, so in order to make this cut, with this side over here, I'm maybe going to trim it just a little smaller. Actually, it might be easier if I use my second one. And I'm going to trim it just a little bit smaller than what the batons are. And then I'll trim these into maybe like 1/2 centimeter pieces. And these are your carrot batonettes. This is the kind of stuff that you probably see with like, as like a dip, as like for a vegetable dip. You dip it into a little ranch or a little blue cheese. And yeah, this is probably like the good biting shape. You still got lots of carrot. It's nice and crisp. And yeah. And going even further than that, we have the julienne, which is even thinner. Let's see if I can even do it. Maybe if I lay it like that, it'll be a little bit easier. I want to shave off very, very thin pieces. And from there, kind of lay it on itself, and then you shave them into what I like to call these little matchsticks. Now this is not my best work, but as you can see, it's much thinner than all the other ones. And this is kind of good for like a salad, something fresh, something that's not going to be cooked for very long, because you want it to keep its nice, straight, thin shape. Now, going into the other ways to cut carrots, the first way is a large dice. Now, a large dice would start by you making carrot batons. So I'm going to use the carrot batons that I have already made. And then you just hack them up into 1 centimeter pieces, like so. So you can see each individual cube is about 1 centimeter, and that is the large dice. Going from large dice, we have small dice, which requires you to use your little batonets, the half centimeter thick pieces. And just like that, you're turning these from little rods to like little cubes about half a centimeter thick. This is the kind of thing that you'd probably see in like a stuffing or like a filling for, say, a shepherd's pie. You want it to be just around the same size as like a green pea. And lastly, we have the brunoise. Brunoise. Now, if you're noticing a pattern here, for the large dice, I use the batons. For the small dice, I use the batonet. Now, of course, for the brunoise, I'm going to use the julienne. And you basically cut them into tiny little ultra-thin pieces. Just like so. Now this is the kind of thing that you'd probably see garnished on like a fancy hors d'oeuvre at like a high-end party. Going into a few more ways to cut carrots, I'm going to use this much smaller one to demonstrate. These are basically like, in particular, these are like carrot slices. But basically, the first one we have is the rondelle. I like to call these ones like little coins, but basically you just use a whole carrot, preferably a thinner one, because like imagine trying to cut one of these from like a bigger piece. It's kind of like, it's a little too big, isn't it? Yeah, rondelle is like a little coin, and say you want the pieces a little bit smaller. Well, then you can do a quarter slice where you just get your little rondelles and you cut them in half, and then cut them into quarters, and you have something that's kind of like in between a small dice and like a rondelle. Now, if you want the fancy version of a rondelle, what you do is you cut it at a bias, at a 45-degree angle. And doing it this way, you get little you get like ovular cuts, sort of like oblong, that are much bigger than your typical rondelle. It has a lot more surface area. And these kind of cuts are probably good for like stews, like simmer it with like some beef and some onions and some celery. And that's probably good stuff. Now, the last thing I want to demonstrate before we leave is a mince. Now this here is a piece of ginger that's also going into my soup, and I'm going to use it to demonstrate how to mince. Basically, you kind of just want to cut these very fine. Flip it over, cut them into little pieces. Now, these pieces are plenty little, but we want them even littler. But if you can't really precisely do that, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to absolutely go to town. What you want to do is you want to place your knife over it, and you just want to kind of rock it up and down constantly, hacking them into little pieces like this. They scatter everywhere in the process. You can just kind of gather them up, and you can hack them even more. You just kind of run your knife across them over and over and over again. And eventually, you can even get them small enough to where you can kind of just grind your knife between the food and the cutting board. Kind of just rupture those vegetable cell walls, which will make it even easier to dice through. Another thing you can do is you can actually put a little salt on there, and what using the salt will do is kind of like it acts as like an abrasive. These hard little salt crystals will go in between the tiny little ginger pieces, and as you grind your knife through them, they kind of help to even further rupture the cell walls, allow you to get a much smaller dice. As you can see here, we have a nice little small dice. You put it in a pan and it will basically melt away and imbue your dishes with all sorts of flavor. Anyway, I think that just about does it for everything I want to demonstrate. Thank you all for taking the time to listen to this demonstration of mine. Thank you all, and back to you, Aiden.
All right. So we learned about carrot soup. Logan, I think I want some carrot soup now because that sounds absolutely delicious. I don't know if I have all the carrots though. I'm pretty sure if I remember checking my fridge, I only have one carrot, so it won't be enough. Unfortunately, it's a very kind of carrot apparently as well. So not enough to make a carrot soup. So Logan, consider me very jealous, and thank you for teaching us the different ways to cut a carrot. My favorite is the thin ways, the one that you showed us at the very beginning, because that one allows me to pickle them into a pickled carrots. Delicious. All right, got to keep the ball rolling. I would ask you, Kevin and Jeff, but we have no time to lose. It's time to get straight into our community news. Okay, so what happened? Well, instead of our 9:30 morning chat session, we actually skipped it entirely and we went straight into Tabata and Qigong instead. So instead of morning chat, we did some Qigong, we did some Tabata, and you know what? It was a lot of fun. On Monday, or actually, let's say this whole week was all about cooking. So, on Monday, we had Jeffrey, and Jeffrey, instead of playing some music, did very healthy and colorful smoothie sessions, healthy smoothies. On Tuesday, Miss Christine and B-Man brought some sweets in, always great. Wednesday was Magic Wrap Day with Michelle and Sajan, and we learned how to turn fridge leftovers into something delicious. Thursday was me, and we did one pots, and we made a delicious chicken rice. It was spicy, it was hot, and Miss Judith absolutely loved it. And of course, on Friday, we finished off strong, which is today, with Puneet's famous fish tacos. They were absolutely amazing looking. I'm not the biggest fan of fish, but Puneet made it look real good. And of course, this Sunday, we have floor curling. So for anybody who is participating, remember, we have floor curling this week, not next week. And remember, teamwork means cheering each other on, building confidence means celebrating great shots, and community means learning from everyone around you. Please remember to bring your water bottle, stay hydrated, and we are going to have an amazing time. See you then. But before we even move on to that, we have one person left. If you guys know, the next person that we got to have next is Jeffrey, and Jeffrey's bringing us some live music. Always fun.
Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's doing great. I'm Jeffrey. I'm here to bring you some live music. And then, I'm going to be playing one of my original songs called It's Okay, It's All Right. The song is about just coming together and feeling good and, and this song has a really good feeling to it. So, hope you dig it. you aim to see. Prepare for any piece of one another. As the united front, we stand together. It's alright. We unite together. We can survive with the voice from the sky. The thought of makes you wonder why. It's okay. It's alright. We unite together. We can shine. The spirit from the sky. The thought of makes you cry. Why not you in her heart? Why do we harm the earth in pursuit of greed? Why not so serious to end hunger and need? Can we educate with knowledge as our tool? Together, let's rewrite the rules. As a united force, we rout the pain. To comfort what's unjust and unfair. Open your voice, and your voice be heard. Liberate your thought, let the truth be your word. It's okay, it's okay. We stand as one. Way to be reached to the sky. Together, chase away the why. It's okay, it's alright. When we unite together, we can survive. Let the fears for the sky. Take off all that makes you cry. Face of adversity, we find our way. Hand in hand, we'll light the path each day. Together we'll mend what's torn apart. Healing words with love from the heart. When the challenge never together, we have the defense. With hope in our hearts, overcome. As one, we'll rise, shining like the sun. It's okay, it's alright. We unite together, we can survive. Let the spirit push the sky. It's just follow and make you wonder why. It's alright, it's okay. We stand and fight. We'll find our way. But you reach the sky. Together, chase away the why. It's okay, it's alright. When we unite together, we can survive. Let the spirit push the sky. And just fall on that makes you wonder why.
survive. Let's just raise your arms towards the sky and reshape all that makes you wonder why. It's okay, it's alright. When we come together, we can shine. Let the spirit towards the sky and transform all that makes you cry. It's alright, it's okay. When we stand as one, we'll find our way. Like you dreams at the sky together, chase away the why. It's alright, it's okay, it's alright. When we unite together, we can survive. Raise your heart towards the sky and transform all that makes you wonder why. It's okay, it's okay, it's alright, it's alright. When we unite together, we can survive. Raise your heart towards the sky and transform all that makes you wonder why. It's okay, it's alright, it's okay, it's alright, it's okay, it's okay, it's alright, it's alright.
Thank you, everybody. This is Jeffrey, your live musician. See you all next time, and it's back to you, Aiden. Bye, everybody.
All right, Jeff. Now, I got to be honest with you. Every time you kept playing the song, I couldn't figure out if you were going to stop the song because I kept hearing the end of it. I thought it was the end of the song, and then you would continue the song, and it was actually a really good song at the end of it. You did absolutely amazing, Jeff. And unfortunately, once you guys know, as soon as Jeff's done playing, that means that we have reached the end of our connection. Anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much to my co-hosts. So thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Logan. Thank you, Jeff. And thank you guys for watching. I hope that you guys have an amazing rest of your day. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And if you like the show, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
And don't forget to click the bell.
Other than that, I hope that you have an amazing week. Spend time with family, do something fun, and I should say to spend time with community, love each other, and we will see you all next time. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.